Mm.
Don't let him escape!
The elements obey me.
Tornado! Sending tornado!
This is just the beginning.
You can't stop the wind!
This should disorient them. The storm comes for you.
I'll buy us some time.
The wind will catch them! Sending beetles! You won't outlast me! The wind will catch them!
It's time. Only a fool opposes the jinn. This should buy me the time I need. I can't help Mishala if I'm dead. They will suffer, and I will endure. I must outlast my enemies. They will learn to fear the power of the jinn. They will die by the sword. I am a man of action.
I won't let you kill me! Meet your end! I won't stop fighting! I'll take your life!
Good luck. Exquisite, isn't it? Stay strong, buddy. Hope you win whatever. Stay tuned. Look who's ready for a 2 a.m. No, I don't go selling these to just anyone. Swing by anytime. Pragmatic, stylish, I love it. It's brutal out there, huh? Little today. Look who's ready for a 2 a.m. metro ride. I won't. If you like that, I got some other stuff that fell off the truck. Now go out there and impose your will. You're not gonna regret that. Allow me to provide the answer to the age-old question. What if Oathkeeper was a gun?
Stop the wind!
I'll buy us some time. I have been blessed by the jinn.
The scarabs will deal with them.
one is the fucking street.
I'm going in!
Thank you.
Headed to Greenwich. Stay together! Headed to Purple. Need help on Yellow. Pull back.
I got one of those for the missus. That's gonna help keep it. You're looking to survive. No, I don't bought that off a Knickerbocker that was about to get his legs broken. Have fun. I got an excellent choice. Someone, you're looking to survive. You have max squeeze. A little bit of the divine. Good luck. A little bit of it. You have a little bit of the divine right here in your hot little hands. I won't lie. I don't. Little protection. Someone's using their new. Good luck completing the ritual. Look, you're a hell of a bodyguard, Mirage. Hope your trip to New York is a memorable one. Look, I never was a fan of Wyoming anyway.
Nice.
Suit yourself.
I got better. Don't worry. They'll try and stop me. See what happens. If they're smart, they'll stay out of my way.
My vows are not taken lightly. I will play my part, and then I will die before I fail you.
Jinn deserve to have a place to call their own. But birthing a nation is not easy. Summon me, and let me help you.
Summoning wind! The storm comes for you. The Jinn will sustain me.
Conjuring scarabs! Consume them! You can't stop the wind!
I won't fall in the line of duty.
Get him strike!
Your life is my life.
Send in tornado!
These scarabs! Only one of us gets to walk. This is just the beginning. I can outlast it.
Our Yellow Guardian has been defeated.
Sending beetles!
I am a man of action.
They will know fear.
The wind will catch them!
They will taste the wrath of the Jinn.
Taste the wrath of the Jinn!
I fight for my allies. I have been blessed by the Jinn. The scarabs will deal with them.
Conjuring scarabs!
Excellent work.
Only a fool opposes the Jinn. Only one of us gets to walk away.
I won't let you kill me! I won't stop fighting!
Well done. They've taken the objective. Our purple guardian has been destroyed.
Good luck completing the ritual. Stay strong, buddy.
Mid-boss has arrived.
Don't let them escape!
Time bomb set.
They will learn to fear the power.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Meet your end!
I will heal.
Consume them!
I fight for my allies.
Show no mercy. They've taken the objective.
Tornado!
The urn has been dropped.
Cutting them off!
I'll take your life!
Only if it all.
Turns up!
I have
The urn is being delivered.
You gotta try a lot harder than that.
Bebop is proving to be a problem.
The Jinn blessed me with many gifts.
Our blue walker has been defeated.
Time for a real help.
Tornado!
escaping me.
Spirits are really out today, aren't they?
Our yellow walker has been defeated. Exquisite work, Seven.
This should disorient them.
Our purple walker has been defeated.
We're going for mid boss.
enemies have breached our stronghold. Yamato doesn't give up easily. Someone needs to stop Infernus. Death brings consequence once more.
Let's work my ass.
It would appear that I'm on a roll, yes?
Mid-boss has arrived. I'm under attack. Protect me at all costs.
I'll buy us some time.
I'm under attack.
Hope my team can capitalize on this.
You seek to change the world, Mirage. Doing that will come at a price.
There's the golem.
I'll buy us some time.
I'll take your life! I won't let you kill me! I will heal. Consume them! Enduring strike!
Let's push blue.
Will sustain me.
Get strike!
Only one of us gets to walk away. I am a man of action. Only a fool opposes the Jinn. I fight for my allies.
Blades continue to strike true ship.
I'll be stacking bodies all night.
They will taste the wrath of the Jinn. I have been blessed by the Jinn.
Conjuring scarabs!
Excellent work.
Meet your end!
The storm comes from
I won't let you kill me! Sending beacons!
If you need more, come back if you ever blocked that off a Knickerbocker that was about to get his legs broken.
Time to be clever.
Sandstorm!
Our purple guardian is being destroyed.
I won't stop fighting!
I see the enemy!
Dance among them here, and sow chaos.
It's time.
Show no mercy.
These scarabs will deal with them.
Mid-boss has arrived.
I see the enemy!
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
The elements obey me. You will sustain me.
Raid them!
Infernus has become a problem. Kill
The wind will howl.
as must you all.
I see haze!
These scarabs will deal with them.
They've taken the objective. They will know fear. The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
You can't stop the wind! Consume them! You won't outlast me!
Our yellow guardian has been destroyed.
Meet your end! Sending beetles! Endure!
Well done. Our
Finding a better angle.
This case goes anytime soon.
Nice to be free of those.
Our purple walker has been defeated. The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed. Our yellow walker has been defeated.
I see 7.
I have been blessed by the Jinn. Your life is my life. Shit.
Get him straight!
The urn has been delivered.
My eyes.
I won't stop fighting!
Their dreams will crash down. The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
There'll be more of them.
They were out of their league.
Good job.
May your blades continue to strike true, Shield.
Intruding strike! Meet your end!
Only a fool opposes nature.
Took out another one.
We're sustained.
I won't stop fighting. Taste the wrath of the king.
Stop us.
Bebop is here.
sacred urn is waiting to be claimed.
Letting out the
I'll buy us some time.
Blade them! Taste the wrath of the Jinn!
Me off yet.
Well, it would seem I'm going for a run.
Is ours.
Empty pocket!
May your blades continue to strike true. They pray for a salvation that will never come. Sharing this glory, Krill, without your efforts, they will not die so easily.
I won't let you kill me!
Hell endures, as must you all.
They will learn to fear the power of the Jinn. The elements obey.
You won't outlast me!
Only one of us gets to walk away. It's time.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
This is just the beginning.
They cower before us.
Sending tornado!
Let's push blue. Let's take out it. I see Infernus.
Ah, the old New York tuxedo. If you need, someone's gonna be bleeding on the concrete, and it ain't gonna be you.
Hayes and 7 are coming from blue.
Enemies have breached our stronghold.
I will break the
Protect me at all cost.
They're coming from yellow and blue.
I'm under attack.
Nice work.
Against guys. We tried.
So this is a video on Asmongold's main channel that he just uploaded, and the title of it is Everything is Woke. And I'm not going to watch the whole video, but I'm going to react to a small part of it right here. And this is a clip of the Actman versus Andy Pants debate that Asmongold is going to be reacting to. And I've made my point very clear where I stand on that, whereas Andy Pants Gaming might be somebody that I would agree with in terms of his takes with his videos, but the reality of it is he's shown himself to be a complete and total fraud because he silences his comment section when they are roasting him or when they disagree with him. He tried to false flag Actman's channel, and he just showed himself to just not be authentic from that standpoint. And so even if I don't like Actman, Andy Pants Gaming is a complete and total fraud, and so I stood with Actman through that whole false flagging situation. With that said, there's a few takes in this that I just disagreed with in the first few minutes from Asmongold, so let's check it out.
Growing up, the boy who cried wolf. These days, it's the boy who cried woke. There is so much disingenuous criticism.
Are you gay? No.
Hello, everybody. I have the privilege today of speaking with John Rustad. He's a Conservative MLA, member of the Legislative Assembly in a province called British Columbia in Canada, very resource-rich province, and one that's on the coast. That it holds a crucial position with regards to the transportation of Canadian resources all around the world. So he's a member of the Legislative Assembly, the provincial government, in a riding called a constituency called Nechako Lakes. But he's also the leader of the Conservative Party in British Columbia. Now, British Columbia is an interesting province because it has a pretty pronounced left-right dichotomy in its political history. And the left-wingers, in the guise of the New Democratic Party, have had control over British Columbia for the last 7 years. And that hasn't been good, to put it bluntly, for all the reasons that are associated with everything that's transpiring everywhere in the West on the culture war front. So now we talked about John's past. He's an interesting candidate because he has a history. He's an entrepreneur. He's started his own business, which was very successful. Then he transitioned into the political domain, serving as a member of the Legislative Assembly and also as a cabinet member. And so he's the rare politician who has the administrative, managerial, entrepreneurial, and political background to actually be a credible leader. He thinks he's got enough people around him that are competent to put together an effective government. And so that could all happen. And so we talked about the culture wars, we talked about the forestry and energy and another resource situation in British Columbia. We talked about the state of relations with the Indigenous people, and he was very successful as the Minister of Aboriginal Relations and Reconciliation in dealing with the First Nations. So that's also a big deal in British Columbia in particular. And we talked more broadly about the culture war in general that's, tearing the West apart, as most of you watching and listening know. This election in British Columbia, it's another crucial election, as is the federal election in Canada a year from this October. So we're hoping that the province flips, and I had a good chance to talk to John today about his vision and to assess his competence, which is something you'll be able to do as a consequence of watching this video. Well, Mr. Rustad, thank you very much for joining me here in Fairview, Alberta, live from Fairview, Alberta. Well, it'll be pre-recorded actually, but it's live at the moment. There's an election coming up in British Columbia. So I guess we should start probably, because we'll also have an international audience. Maybe you could start by just describing British Columbia and letting everybody know where it is, and then we'll focus in on this election.
Well, British Columbia, of course, is on the west coast of Canada, sometimes referred to as the left coast politically. But obviously it's a major port. It's a major gateway for all of Canada to be able to access the world. Many goods actually move from Asia through British Columbia and down into the United States. It's a province that is very rich with resources. It's got a tremendous amount to be able to offer, including everything from oil and gas to mining to forestry. It's got a very good high-tech sector. It's a very interesting province, actually, but many people look at it and think, that unfortunately it's hopelessly managed because of the politics that it's been mired in for many years.
Yeah, well, and British Columbia has always had a sort of strange provincial political scene, because of all the provinces in Canada, it's the one that flips to the most radical left and to the most conservative. It flips back and forth. And so that's very interesting. And you also brought up the issue of resources, and this is something that we might want to delve into right off the bat. I mean, it tends to be a left-wing trope that the poor should be well served, and also that the environment should be well served. The problem is that those two desires now run into conflict with one another. And my sense is that the left, the radical left, is pretty willing to sacrifice the poor to the planet, ineffectively too, because this has happened in Germany, where the Greens have taken control, and Germany is deindustrializing, and Germany actually pollutes more per kilowatt of energy produced now under the green regimes than it did before under more pure capitalism. The point I'm making here, and this is relevant for the international audience that might be watching this, is that British Columbia is very resource rich. And as you pointed out, it's a very important port. And Canada has a lot of low cost raw materials, especially on the energy side, but not only on the energy side, that could be brought to people all around the world to alleviate their poverty. And it's very counterproductive to make it more difficult for people to live, not least because they don't take a long-term view of the future then, and aren't likely to be concerned in their own localities with environmental issues. So my sense is British Columbia and Canada could do a great job, especially on the energy side, of getting natural gas in particular off to markets all around the world. And British Columbia controls that in large degree.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I think it was over the last, I don't know how many decades, 2.4 billion people have been lifted out of abject poverty because of affordable energy. And obviously, Canada has a tremendous amount of energy. British Columbia has a tremendous amount of gas. There's 1 billion people in the world today that do not have electricity. think it's somewhere between 400 and 600 million people that only have enough electricity to run a refrigerator. I mean, and those countries want to be able to have a quality of life. We have the resources and the ability to be able to take the resources we have and export them and use that for the benefit of our own people, to be able to improve our quality of life, but at the same time, be a real global player in terms of helping these other countries. And so it's something that has always puzzled me in terms of why the left does not want to do this. Do they not care about the people in other parts of the world? Do they not care about the quality of life of the people in our own province? By taking advantage of these resources, by providing that revenue to us and providing those resources to other countries, we're not only improving our quality of life, but we are playing our part in the globe, making sure that other people have that quality of life. And as you know, as people have more energy, as people have that higher quality of life, they care more about the environment. They actually do more for the environment than they can otherwise. And so, we can play a big role in that. But like I say, it's just our policies seem to be blocking us from being able to be a major player.
Well, and the Chinese are building coal-fired plants like mad, and Canada has plenty of coal, but we also have plenty of liquid natural gas, which is a good replacement for coal. I mean, it looks to me like countries that are industrializing, and they're doing that because they want to live longer, more productive, and more opportunity-rich lives, just like we did. They go through a relatively predictable sequence in terms of energy development, and perhaps it starts with wood and peat and that sort of thing, biomass, which is very polluting and not very efficient and hard on the forests and terrible for indoor pollution. And they transition to coal, which is much better in all regards than ordinary biomass, and then let's say to natural gas and oil, and then potentially, if we weren't completely stupid about that, to something approximating nuclear. And so the succession of improvement on the efficiency and cost front in the energy world seems clear. And it is a mystery that isn't an accepted principle on the left, and it's really shocked me, because one of the things I've seen over the last 10 years is every single time I've watched this in every Western country, when the left has the choice between worshiping at the feet of the environment and in a stunningly counterproductive manner, or serving the poor, they always serve the environment. And my sense is that that's a consequence of likely an anti-human and Malthusian ethos that emerged in the 1960s with claims by Paul Ehrlich and others, biologists mostly, that the world was by necessity a place of finite resources, that we would be running short of everything by the year 2000, that the planet can't support more than a couple of 100 million people at anything approximating the standard of living we have in the West. And that anti-human ethos seems to have dominated the thinking of the left, much to the terror and hardship of the poor. I've been following this guy online named Jasper Manchugo, and he's an African and a subsistence farmer, but he's quite literate when it comes to the use of social media. And he posts continually showing how much work he and his family have to do to scratch out a living without fossil fuels, trying to subsistence farm, and to show that that's not the romantic dream of, what would you say, noble savage living that seems to possess the idiot Rousseauians of the left, but a terrible hardship for him and everyone around him. And he is trying to bring to public attention the fact that the world desperately needs, well, not least the fossil fuels that Canada can provide. And Alberta wants to do that, obviously. Alberta is the most, for everybody listening who don't know, Alberta is a very fossil fuel rich province, but it's landlocked. It's right next to British Columbia. And Canada's had a hell of a time getting its act together with regards to the export of, well, natural gas in particular.
Yeah, I know that there's no question in my mind, those natural resources, those hydrocarbons could do a lot to lift up the people in many places around the world. But more importantly than that, you mentioned farming in Africa and that side of things. There seems to be this bent by populations around the world, governments around the world, that they want to stop the use of nitrogen-based fertilizer. For nitrogen-based fertilizer, I'm sure you know Norman Borlaug, I think his name was, who received the Nobel Prize for his work in what was called the Green Revolution, right? The massive increase in agricultural productivity because of nitrogen-based fertilizer, artificial fertilizers, as well as water management and better land management. And I just think of it, and now we want to go backwards. I mean, 40% of the world's food supply comes from using nitrogen-based fertilizer. So if you're going to stop using that, and of course you need hydrocarbons for that, you need natural gas for the feedstock. You're talking about significant amount of shortage of food. People starving,
which has already happened.
And I'm sorry, I'm not up for that. I mean,
no,
that is not the way we should be as a world, right? We should actually be trying to do everything we can to improve global lives and to be able to provide those goods. And I just look at British Columbia as well, and from an agriculture perspective, we only procure 34% of the food we consume from BC. 2/3 of the food that we need comes from outside our borders. Now, we produce lots of cows, calves, and send them off for finishing. We produce lots of wine and these types of things for export. But the basics, we're not meeting the needs of our own population. And so if you've got these governments around the world that are talking about reducing food production, it leaves our population vulnerable. And so this was actually the reason I was kicked out of my former political party, because I started looking at this saying, wait a second, this is not right. We as a government should be putting the priority of looking after our own people, making sure that we meet their basic needs. And similarly, we should take a role, nationally, internationally, making sure that other people can look after themselves as well. It's just the right thing to do. And yet you're right. The left seems to be hell-bent on, this ideology that probably, like I say, probably rooted out of the 60s that just seems to be carrying forward.
It's the most humanitarian policies possible. It seems to me it's pretty straightforward. It's cheap energy and cheap food. If you have cheap energy and cheap food, you don't have poor people. And then the additional benefit, as we already pointed out, is that as soon as people aren't scrabbling around in the muck for their next meal, they can start to take something approximating a multi-generational perspective. And that is what people do. I mean, part of the reason that we live so long is because as grandparents, we also help care for children. Like, human beings are wired to take a longer view if they can. But if you're desperately poor, you default to what is necessary right now. And that's often agricultural practices and so forth that aren't sustainable over the long run. And so, I figured this out about 15 years ago, that we could all have our cake and eat it too. If we used our energy resources wisely, if we knocked energy costs down, which should be a primary goal of politicians at every level of analysis, regardless of political party, if we knocked our energy costs down, we could eradicate poverty worldwide, and we could feed everybody, and then everybody would start taking care of their environment locally. It seems like an optimal, it borders on, the alternative policies, in my estimation, border on genocidal. And I know already that the fact that energy costs have spiraled upwards is putting tremendous mortal pressure on the poorest people all around the world. You can see too in Canada, grocery prices have gone up so much that it's actually hard to believe.
It's 22 or 23% that they've gone up just in the last couple of years. And you look at it, but you're right about energy as well. And you look at what's going on in the world, and you think, okay, so we're driving up the energy prices. And I think it was can't remember which country it was, the president of the country in Africa said, look, no country's ever been able to develop and be able to meet its needs by going with wind and solar. They've had to use more dense energy, such as coal and then natural gas. And then obviously we need to get to nuclear. And I'll talk about nuclear in a minute, because that's a very interesting situation for BC.
Okay.
But when I look at that, there's a clear correlation between affordable energy and quality of life. Mm-hmm. And in British Columbia right now, because of the carbon tax and prices going up, and we've got the highest gas prices in the country, people are struggling. I mean, there's a third of British Columbians that looking at leaving the province. 1 in 2 youth are looking at leaving the province because they can't make a go of it. In a province that is so rich, that's got so much to offer. And yet, this is what has happened from poor government policies, driving up the cost of the basics, food, energy, housing. And they're saying, wait a second here, I can't ever hope to buy a home. I can't raise a family. Why would I stay here? I'm going to go find another place to be able to build my life. I mean, that's what British Columbia actually was founded on. It was people from other parts of the world that had those problems and said, let's go to British Columbia because I can build a life there. And it's now flipped. Yeah. And so this is what needs to change. And fundamentally, it has to change at the political level in order for it to be able to change throughout society.
Since I joined Force, this was designed theory, playing potential of the future and to my meal, where both sides well dead. I help the life, might be series marriage, chaos, adding ethical guide success, strengthening the talk right down through life, and Exodus and Gospels to find series. I had a blast making it, and I stay tuned. Releasing new content now. Work forward for a moment too, because I've got nothing personally against wind or solar, although I think that the windmills are hideous and they devastate the landscapes that they're placed in. And that actually matters because, well, one of our environmentalist contentions is that the beauty of nature is a value in and of itself, as well as something that's